saying hello and welcome. And Dirk, Dirk, Diaco Bub, who is one of the founders, as well as Maxi, I believe, for bestdelivery.com. So again, if you are looking for a top-class brand, world-class, and I do put my name on that, then get in touch with bestdelivery.com. We're going to be unveiling a new creation for Rory Alexander from Erie's. As he's made a few changes, he's gone full-time now, he's quit his job, and I just want to give him something back. So we're going to give some money to Dirk to make sure he does the best job possible.
There's also Dirk, isn't it?
This is very true. We're talking about Diaco Bub from bestdelivery.com.
The Mad Hog Rider. Was it Mad Hog Rider?
Well, we are moments away.
And then
Me?
yeah.
No, I'm trying to sort out. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to work out because I've not set up my controllers yet. I didn't know what buttons to press to change my view. There you go, that's what I wanted to do. Good. So I was just going on to Ghosts to find out. Because I like specific views. It's not my normal button. Right. Marvellous.
Maxi, welcome to the chat, my friend. Currently watching you go around in your beautiful Honda. That is excellent. I do appreciate your work on the liveries as well. Mentioning the race for Ukraine today. And again, the donation links are in the live streams of everyone that's live streaming today. I know we've got Savage live streaming. I don't know whether Dio is live streaming, unless he's on Twitch. Jakob has gone live. GT Mujalina is live. So please feel free to go give these boys a like, give these boys a subscribe, say hello in chat. Amazing.
I'd say hello, Diaco, because Diaco said hello to me in your chat. So if I miss anyone saying hello in either chat, it's either because I'm in the wrong chat, because I've only got the one screen to look at this juncture, or I didn't see you because I'm not looking, or I hate you. So it's one of those three. Obviously, this is Ukraine. So it won't happen that much often, twice.
Obviously, Power Maxi I hate because he took me out over the mountain and the back those.
And I'm still proud about that. Because I was doing really well. And I'm not really upset, but I'm practicing crying on camera. There you go, have that.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Well, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, again, yeah, I've got kids watching, but I don't mind a little bit of go, which is what we've got on front of Max's car.
Strict by naughty words to the ones that everyone knows, even kids. Well, depending where you live. Around here, they all know all the words, but, he's a nice lad. I don't want to corrupt him. Because by saying words like pop music, no, not pop music, I like pop music. What's the rubbish they do these days that includes Spice Girls? He never, ever needs to hear that, because it's just, I know it might psychologically damage him for the rest of his life, but and everybody else did that. It did me. It's like when I found out that Emma Stone was a massive Spice fan on the Graham Norton show. And it's like, I liked you. I did. And then she said, Girl Power. And it's like, oh, Girl Power. Get, how many were there? 4 or 5 talentless people. Do a marketing campaign on them. And you've got the next step after stop hating awards. Yay!
Very true.
Well,
It's very true. And is it Chris or Christian Horner from F1?
Christian Horner.
Jerry Halliwell, the Spice Girl. That's it. There we go. Is he lucky? He's a lucky man.
I actually got to say, now she's stopped trying to sing. I actually remember the time when she did go solo. And I call it a song. What she had was a fantastic running series. I want you to hear this monotone out of key drone. That's her. But she got parked, she got nice and rambler. But she's actually quite like how I've got to see that.
Indeed.
I'm back in half one. Not the usual thing, because I'm not going to. So it's just fun. I mean, we can start about
This is it. Hello to Bug. Bug has a beautiful fabric multiple super.
Is he first? Brazil or Belgium?
It's a good question. We'll wait for his reply in chat.
Just trying to help. Because if he's from Spain, he's from. It's a joke. If it's Portuguese, which is most of the Jamaican song, they used to put that in the outside now. I'm not there, I'm not sure saying, I'm not going to get these speaking Spanish, but I'm
I do just want to point out, sorry, continue if you want to. I've just noticed that leading the qualifying session, because there is no qualifying, this is the qualifying practice. Golden Bottom is just under a 10th, but is a sniff away from Zebasic. Zebasic currently in P2, who's also just gone into the pits, but Golden Bottom is taking P1 from Italy, is Mr. Well.
defer to you because you're the commentator, and also, especially when you're actually talking about the race and which you get in there. Get in there. Right, so let's look at what's
Monkey, just give me a moment because there is a couple of people in here that not necessarily should be. So just let me just sort that out. Ruth, can you just give me a minute if you can entertain the beautiful?
Yeah, no problems at all.
So,
Nobody generally says yeah, people used to say to me all the time. What do I? Oh, there it is. Yeah, like you said, oh, you do this, and he's like, angry, God. So I don't know what it's like, is it not you in Berlin? Yeah, of course. Berlin. Yes. I can say, did you believe it? I watched the play right at my ear in
play that friends of mine were in, and there were all these different accents, and I was really pleased because I could tell there was like this Berlin guy. He's sat on a chair outside of this hotel, die Weiße Rose, in Schweiz, I believe, and somebody wanted him to move, and he says, "Ich bleibe hier." Like that.
Heyo. Hi Matt, hi Ru.
how are we doing? Welcome.
Guten Abend. Ich bin eine Kugelschreiber.
Yes. Kugelschreiber.
There's a history to that. Jawohl, you see, it's telling me off already. Stop it, I try.
No one says jawohl.
And no one says, you see?
No one.
I think you'll be surprised to know there's one other phrase I know, auf Deutsch, and that is halt die Klappe.
That is the correct one.
Engländer, halt die Klappe.
What's that behind me?
Zu viel. Oh, was babbelst du, Indy? Those were the days. What was he like that?
Oops. A lot of buzzing.
Whoops. I also know that a German dog says wow wow.
Wow, wow.
Wow wow.
The German dog says wow, wow, yes.
But I got that from Herr Alfred Schult, who was 54 and a Techniker in my Labor. Lovely bloke. He was the one that played me Resi, ich hol dich mit meinem Traktor ab.
Resi, ich hol dich mit meinem Traktor ab.
Resi, ich hol dich mit meinem Traktor ab. Great song. What a great song.
Not really.
It was terrible, but it was a fun day. Funny as Cowboy! Funny and Vines! Tangent? What are you talking about? Tangents? I do meanderings. They're very different. Okay? Tangent is off in a direction, but I at least always intend to come back. It's like Bathurst. You go up the mountain, but eventually you come back to the start.
Yes. Eventually.
You don't hit a wall.
No, I can't. I've got my keyboard plugged in, but I have no commands from my keyboard. So hopefully that's something that they will add to Gran Turismo 7, because that was I missed that feature of being able to choose different camera angles and whatnot. But never mind.
So, is this something you just need to learn? You know, as you get used to GT7, or is it just stopped working altogether?
There isn't an option to put it on. Yeah, there was a keyboard option in GT Sport. This was.
Oh, yes,
But I suppose there's still no.
I wonder if that's in the main options, because there are some things in there that, you know. Oh, yeah. GT7
Okay.
has some interesting screechy noises for the tyre noises. It's kind of like, instead of it being screech, it's a screech, creak, 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 creak. It's going around the corner. It is on mine anyway. It's good. Carry on, sorry.
No, I'm just thinking 6 minutes and we'll get it going. And dead on 1:15.
6 minutes?
Yeah, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sooner the better.
Yeah, we'll shorten the race a little bit as well. I was going to do 2 hours, but for 2 or 3 people joining, it was better to just shorten it by half an hour and give people a little more time on track before qualifying and practice. Maxi is 0.044, like the numbers, away from Shane in the McLaren. GT3 through to the start-finish line, and Diaco Tonics just took Diaco Bub's position. So
Oh no, shit.
Diaco Bub crosses the line, takes time off, only 16th of a second away from Giant Tonic. P9 as the rear engine Porsche continues to hunt down the mid-engine.
And I'm on medium tires.
Mediums.
Perhaps I should change it to the soft ones and
Well,
let's
you've
see
got
what
a
they
few
can
laps
do.
left, so get them on, get out there.
If you can
Fastest
afford
lap
them.
goes to Luka Zavicic in P1. Under half a tenth of a second as well, separating P1 to P2 there.
125, oh god.
Yeah, I know, yeah, he's a quick dude, isn't he? We've got Flash Dagger in chat, my good friend. How the devil are we?
Hi Flash.
Nice one, Dio. And Botto. So, Zab is in the Supric, I believe, or is that the FT1? Surely it's a super glitch.
It's a super glitch.
Botto just takes P1 back from Zabasic, nearly a 10th as well. Wow, 125.589 here at Deep Forest. One of my favourite Gran Turismo 1 and 2 tracks. As a child, Christian's in P3 in the beautiful Ford GT with its like neons. Yeah, it looks like it's got neons in the engine bays.
Yes, but it's not the engine bay. That's part of the aerodynamics. Listen, I always love this about this, is that it has... They've got like a Coke bottle, like on an F1 car. You know, the back of it, it actually sort of comes very steeply back in towards the rear of the car, and then there's two winglets, effectively, to give it stiffness and other aerodynamic majiggies.
Hey, Falconer! Sorry.
It's built to win Le Mans. You know? Built to win Le Mans. It's not built as a road car, it's built as a racing car. That's why it was so good.
It's interesting that you're just kind of talking about Le Mans, because I've seen the Le Mans film, and I am a massive motorsport nut, it's got to be said. And when you actually understand what Ford did at Le Mans, it's quite a feat, because at the end of the day, although it was Ford, it wasn't. It was the engineers and mechanics that were responsible for making what they made. But what's even more interesting is we've got the brand new version that exists today, which we've currently got on stream, and also all other manufacturers have had so much time since that iconic day where they've had to build their cars up, get ever faster, get ever grippier, get thousands and thousands and thousands every time. It's
that evolution. It's amazing, isn't it? The evolution. It's like when they change the rules in any of them, really, but especially Formula One. They change the rules, and then to slow them down, sometimes because of safety, like in the old ground effect days when the car was going so fast that they couldn't hold the neck. They were going around the corner so fast they couldn't hold the neck, the head up properly. The neck was just too big, even with the big bull-sized necks they had. But then they always find ways of getting the time back, don't they? They always find ways of getting the cars faster and faster and faster. And they will with this current system that they've got now. They always find a way. Some clever people always find a way.
I think that Formula One are onto something, because there's one thing about making your car as fast as possible, but at the end of the day, you can always go faster. I think what's important is having closer racing, and I don't necessarily have the answers, but I think F1 are moving into a direction where, and I don't know if it's working, but instead of just going for balls out of speed, still let the manufacturers do what they need to do, but I do like, close racing, some side-by-side action.
I have a question for you, sir. Genuine question. Your opinion. Right. I was listening to someone that used to run, this guy called Peter Windsor, who's a YouTuber, and he does very good reports and stuff, videos on Formula One, because he's a real insider, he knows a lot about it. And he was talking about this thing about being able to follow easier and find and easy to overtake and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying the problem he has with it is that the very best racers could already follow. So Verstappen compared with Perez, or Hamilton compared with Bottas, they had found ways, because of their ability, to follow and get past. For example, in Brazil last year, when Hamilton's carving past everybody after all the stuff that went on. So what's happening is that it's being made easier, so the truly exceptional drivers are now they've got no advantage. And the same thing, in my opinion, happened with Valentino Rossi when they brought traction control in. One of the things he did incredibly well was the ability to put the power down and control bike without a computer doing it for him. He had an incredible feel for what the back wheel was doing and the grip of the bike, and he could also really look after the tyres. And then when that went, he lost a lot of time relative to other people. So what's your opinion on that? The pinnacle of whatever sort of motorised sport, it needs to be difficult to give the very best the chance to shine.
I think that's a very, very fair argument. that is something I am going to dive into in a few moments. So please remind me if I do forget, but I do want to answer that. So please remind me. We are actually ready to begin the race for Ukraine here at Deep Forest of Gran Turismo 7. Live co-coms with TMK and Titanium Root in chat. Also joined with the legendary German duo from bestlivery.com. I was pleased to get your livery design for GT7, but it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to kick off race for Ukraine.
I do like these liveries that Mr. Dykebug makes. They're very good. Don't tell him though.
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Don't tell. Oh, damn you here! Me and my big mouth.
Okay.
One of the things I've noticed on this, I used to be able to go into a little menu and it would give me the times that people are doing in these things, and it's not there. It doesn't exist on GT7 that I can see. That's annoying.
Yeah, there's lots that they need to do. Right, Tubey stabbed me in the back. Alrighty, race will get shown. I don't know whether we actually will end up on track. If we do need to exit route.
Oh, okay. So,
what was that?
Especially it's my car.
We can spectate. We're not in. There we go. So here we are, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
didn't enter the race, so it's okay.
Is that the start? Oh, that's the start. Why am I on P2?
It's Saturday, the 26th of March.
Is that
18
reverse
minutes
grid?
past 1 here in the UK, and we've got Juby, who's asked to start at the back. He's at the front. And there we go, it is a go. Zavasic with an incredible start there, already taking 5 positions. Juby in a position where he does not want to be. And we've got Dio in pursuit, Maxi on the outside. Maxi's on the inside, nearly Dio. Maxi is taking the outside line, he's got that position on Juby.
I do like that Renault, it's very nice. So is Juby Jinx... oh no, that's not Zavasic. Oh, okay, fine, I can see where he is now.
Zavasic is P6 currently on the inside of McLaren. Joke in the Lexus, not able to get that position. GLR Racer in the Bentley with a little bit of a spin there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but the show must go on. And we've got Limunki now in P6, Zavasic in PTMK now chasing down Juby, who wanted to start at the back, but is currently sitting in a podium position. Zavasic well and truly within the slipstream range. We'll see what he can make happen on the final corner here at Deep Forest.
Side by side.
He's making the move. Juby's giving him the space. Difficult corner though, this one, Brew. I don't know if you've been on here yourself, but that last corner was brutal.
Yeah, I did. I think I did a couple of things when I was trying to get the cafe jobbies, but that was so close. It was fantastic though. Oh, Zavasic is right behind him now. What happened from that far?
P8 behind Monkey, who is behind Golden Botto, which I now know means Golden Crash. And side Angelina in pursuit of the Subaru. Craig on the inside line. We've got McLaren and Shane.
The difference. No offence, Power Maxi, but you're trying very hard, and Zavasic is just like going around all the twisties. It's like, I know Thorsten's fast compared with me. Too much power!
Maxi still in a podium position though. Christian Vines just in pursuit of P3, and Dio with a P1 here now, being chased by the legendary Lucas Zavasic, who is also streaming. Again, of course, I do remind you all that we are all here today for the ones that are in Ukraine that are far worse off than we are. We get to complain about a bumper scratch or a missed apex, but those in Ukraine don't have that favour. So if anyone does want to donate, this is a good time for me to say the donations are in the links. They are in the links of the other streamers as well. We've got Dio streaming, we've got Zavicic streaming. I'm just going to stay on board with these two. What can Zavicic make happen as he makes his way past the start-finish line and up to turn 1. There's another little bump there as we come up to turn 1. I'm going to come back on with those boys. Maxi still in podium, P3 position. Christian P4 in the beautiful 4GT. Golden Crash, P5. Dirk, number 2. Mujilina, who has been a big help setting up this race for Ukraine. He is also live streaming, so again, go say hello, give him a sub. It's all about connection here. And Mujilina, 6th position. Is he on the inside line of Mauru? 4-wheel drive Subaru. Christian with a little bit of slip angle there, maybe a bit too much. Still able to hold on to 4th position.
Good battle this between those 5 cars.
The McLaren is P8 and Shane P9. Pretty big train there from P9 to P3. Tonic on the inside, not quite able to get side by side from the corner.
What's happened to Juby Jinx, who started at the front and is now at the back?
I think he's just happy to be here. That's where he wanted to be, wasn't it?
Well, I can understand that. I don't mind being at the back.
We have got a battle though between. There's just Genesis. Maybe that's not a Bentley, but we have got a bit of a battle here between Dougie, who makes his way up to the start-finish line, as does Craig and Dirk. So those guys have got a bit of a battle going on. They're going to into the. It'll be interesting to see what they've chosen with regards to tyre choice as well. Because obviously we're using the racing softs, mediums, and hards. They have to use those tyres at least once.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I go through everybody and tell you what tyres they've got? So Juby Jinx at the back is on the mediums. Mad Matthew is on the softs. Our very own Diakabub is on softs. 2-3s is on mediums. Dougie, race of 14 of the GLR variety, he's on softs. Giant Tonic is on the mediums. McLaren, though, he's taking a bit of a gamble and he's on the hards. So we'll see if that pays out. Mr. R. Lee is also on the hards. Oh, there's a few. Okay. Another one that's on the hards is Mr. Vines, Chrissy, who's having a bit of a full side-by-side fight going into that last corner. What's going to happen here? Let's stay on board. Oh, very fair. How they didn't hit each other.
On that corner as well. That was awesome.
Just amazing. Mujilina, the other Dirk, is on softs. Then we've got Mr. Paramaxi, who's on the softs, as he very well knows, because he's doing it. As is Botto, as is Dio, and she's also on the softs, so there you go.
Yeah, but Mujilina's going for the inside line, as is the Monkey, maybe 3 wide into turn 1 here. Monkey P6. Mujilina P7, but Mujilina is a quick dude, so interesting to see what they can do as those 3 continue to battle it out. And we've got an amazing fight between McLaren and Lexus, between McLaren, Joke, and Shane in the McLaren. I was confusing my brain for a second then.
McLaren in a Lexus.
Yeah.
And a Tonic in a McLaren, yes.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's interesting. I think he's advertising some kind of chocolate sweet on the back of his McLaren. I believe it's a nutty treat that's now a little bit gone off in the fridge, I think, with a soft caramel crunchy centre full of nuts.
Absolutely.
PTN is peanuts, isn't it? Anyway, where were we?
No, I'm with you. I'm just gobsmacked with how beautiful this Genesis is. Driven by Dougie, who is also now right behind Shane in the McLaren. So he's had it off, but he's also catching back up to P9. So we've got an awesome fight there. Craig clearly had enough because he was putting some amazing times down last night when we were on. Just hit Dirk there at the end of that camera shot to chase him down. Now again, with everyone using different tyres and the length of the race, I'm expected to see lots of action between different drivers at totally different times. Some pitting, fuel, tyre choice, the odd-offs, which always happen, which is part of racing. Savicic is P1.
That looks like, you know, you're saying about the Genesis car. Sorry, the Gemini. Is it Genesis or Gemini? The one
Genesis,
that I've just caused to crash. It looks a lot to me like, oh, great, brain. Okay, give me a second. Ford Mustang. If you look at it from the front, it looks very like a Mustang. But as you say, it's got what looks very much like a Bentley badge on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful car. Beautiful car.
It is. Gorgeous.
We've got an ace fight though for P2. Golden Bottle working his way up and now fighting his very good friend Just Dio in the Peugeot. Dirk's now find himself in P4, Muchelina, and Christian in the slipstream as they make their way past that start-finish line here at Deep Forest. Gran Turismo 7. Hard on the brakes. Christian is looking for the inside line. Is he going to keep it on the inside line? Not quite. You get a better run out.
Doug's the first to blink. Doug's the first to blink. He's in the pits. He's been having a bit of trouble with the rear end. He sort of had a bit of a crash and then a few more fish-taily tails. Very nice.
P6 right on the tail end of Christian in P5. McLaren and Giant still fighting it out. We've got some amazing action on track today.
Marvellous. GLR racer, Dougie, has put hard tyres on. But, there is not refueled.
Max side by side with Craig. We're going to have to start calling Craig 236. He was on last night, I believe, when Craig joined in as we was testing. And my son was like, Six. His name's Six. I was like, do you know what, son? You're right. We're going to start calling him Six.
So actual name is Six?
No, but 2 3s.
Oh,
PSM.
Okay, yeah, you didn't just... You know the intelligent things that you say?
Yeah.
Dumb them down a bit for me, because... well, I fool people into thinking I've got a brain. It's actually a small jellyfish I found on the beach, crammed into my ear hole. I'll swap it out every now and again for a fresh
my
one.
man Matthew Roux in the Peugeot in P10. Christian in the pits.
And that Peugeot.
Front wheel drive versus the rear wheel drive.
Is that front wheel drive? I thought that was a mid-engine thing.
I think it's mid-engine, or is it front engine, front wheel drive? I'm not sure. I think it's front wheel drive. I don't know, then we'll let me know in chat. But hello, Damo. Great to see you in chat. Oh, thank you for the like, my friend. TM Relmos from the ETO. Hello. Great to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in. As we continue to watch the race for Ukraine unfold. We're here today again for a very important cause. We have those that are far worse off than those at this very given moment. And, everyone that is streaming this event today has the link in the description as to why. So if you do want to donate anything at all, we're going to serve people that need it. Now,
Just like to say hello to Darren, who's telling me off, and I'll say hello to him. No, Darren, I'm not still going from last night. I did eventually finish and did the job, and then eventually went to bed about 1:30, and then absolutely didn't get to sleep. So, yeah, I'm a bit tired. Carry on.
We're having here Vines, I think, is going from P4 to P11. McLaren is also in the pits in his Lexus. He's down now refueling. It's a pretty awesome livery design as well. I do want to give everyone a little bit of time with the liveries.
Doug, bless him, went in, put on hard tyres, and then but didn't refuel, and he's gone back in, he's put on medium tyres, but he's now only got half a tank, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yes, well, we've got 63 laps to complete, which is around about a 90-minute race. We didn't do an endurance style, put it on 90 minutes, because when the counter reaches 0, it just completely ends the end of the race. You can't, drive into the final lap, if you will. But So we worked it all out. We've gone 63 laps. Dougie being chased now by Zavicic.
Yeah, he's being lapped, just about to be lapped. Be kind to Zavicic. He's been very kind. He's been very kind to him, but he's obviously, you need to understand, Dougie brakes better than me, but still like me, i.e. earlier than everybody else. Well, it doesn't need to.
The inside line is on the inside of Dougie in the Genesis, and
Dougie's lost it.
I don't know if there was any contact there or not.
Not deliberate. It was just.
Correct.
But it was a blue flag situation, surely. You know, there was. Unless you're talking about 1960s and 50s where they didn't have blue flags, you just had to negotiate best you can.
Interesting.
Back in those days.
So you previously asked me a question, Ru. What remind me?
It was. As you go, I'll kind of rephrase it a little bit as well. But as you go up the higher formulae, they have to get harder to drive. So Formula One cars are actually really hard to drive at all and get the best out of. And the idea being that the higher up you go, the more people, you know, it's smaller differences between the good and the exceptional. And these smaller differences need a more difficult car to show them off. So in Formula One, they're talking about how impossible it was to follow and overtake, and yet the likes of Max, Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton could do it. So, for example, in Brazil last year, they were charging past people because they knew how to follow closer than everybody else and get past. You know, and it showed their skill. Now that it's easier to do that, other people that aren't as good will be able to match them because they won't need that skill.
Yes.
Where do you think that lies in the sort of the thing that it's Formula One? It's meant to be hard.
Yeah. No, I think it's a very, very fair point. It's obviously you don't want it to be all the cars are constantly next to each other because that would, I guess, completely and utterly eradicate the actual driver's skill. But I think
become Indy cars or NASCAR.
Yes. Fair point. Jelena and Diaco Bub exiting the pits. Let's see what tyres these boys have on. So Christian's on racing mediums.
Diacos and hards.
Mediums for Mugelina.
And they've got full tank.
Otto's in the pits.
Oh, no. Diaco's only got half tank. Did he come in a while ago? Duke Jinx.
I don't want to stay so long as we have tires.
That's fair. Oh, we could do like they do in British touring cars. You know, like where they as someone's going around trying to concentrate on winning, and then they talk, so how's it going for you? And they go, and crash. Stop talking to me! Doug, what you need to do is practice. Pick Hamilton or maybe Kimi and do a relatively clean version of their response to being bugged by their engineer. Leave me alone! Yeah, man! Just leave me alone, man! Okay, man? I'll let you decide which one's which.
I was curious as to how long drivers would actually stay out on the track with the racing cars. So they only need to use the compounds once each, but how long a pit stop is versus how much sauce would save you is an interesting thought, but then that's part of racing as well.
So are we using all three compounds? Is that what the rule is?
The requirement is to use racing softs, mediums and hards.
Okay, alright, okay, all three. Cool.
So use them once, they can go back for another set of softs or three, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how it happens. We've got Zavicic and just Dio in the pits.
He's now on his softs. Oh no, I don't know what he's on. It's not telling me what they've put on. Why does the stupid computer not tell me what they've put on?
The monkey in P1.
Ryan Racer. Oh, let's have a look at Ryan Racer. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so it's because I've changed the display on there for PSN ID. Just
Right, only 12 drivers left.
Dougie and Ollie have left, yeah.
because apparently no one says yeah,
So 14 drivers, 2 left, 12 left.
So, everybody, if you're wondering what's going on my stream, I am the co-commentator to the wonderful Matt. We also have 2 drivers who we can annoy and make them crash by talking to them. They're both German. And in my chat, I've got links to Diaco and Matt, so you can click on there and watch better coverage, frankly. What else can I say? Give lots of money to go to Matt's, click on the links, give millions of pounds to UNICEF and the other churches that he's got there, and say something nice in more something like, how do you do there? Darren, I was not ignoring you. Now I've clicked on that chat and seen you type that in, Darren. Well, lots of people. You've got so many people watching. They're doing that thing where it's all moving too fast to read.
Your YouTube is Titanium Timber.
Rude Racing Rumbles.
There we go.
I didn't put it in the thing. So Dougie's gone because I think he got fed up with, well, you know, the difficulty. Not difficult, I don't know, to make it sound like, oh, it's too difficult to do it. I don't think Dougie's like that. I think, I'll read what he says, too much aggro driving. So that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
How much aggro driving, yeah?
Yes, aggro. Aggro's a great... This is why English is so popular in the world, because it has words like aggro. It's not because it's a useful language. It just has lots of words for many different things.
We have the same word in German.
Ah, you nicked it from us, though.
Yes, of course.
Like steak.
Aggressive is just an English word, no Latin.
I mean, you have schnitzel, a cut of meat, and then they go, no, we want der steak, which means specifically, it's cow. But that's fine, because we also have lots of words that are in German. So, for example, Angst, which you know is the word for fear, auf Deutsch, is an English word also, meaning a feeling of sort of uneasiness and fear. It's a specific kind of fear. So, great words. I like languages, they're fun.
Well, I've got P7 chasing down... Sorry, P8 chasing down P7. We've got McLaren in the Lexus, chasing down Mr. Lee in the Subaru. Matthew's also just gone into the pits. Stay on board and watch his delivery for a few moments. Down he goes, in for fuel. 22 miles is done in that Peugeot as well. No more race for Ukraine. That is why we're here. So that means that Jakob's chasing down Giant Tonic. Tonic on the hards. Jakob also on the hards now.
Yep.
Dio finds himself in P5 currently on the racing mediums. Mujolina is the second.
Mad Matthews just come out of the pits. That car is definitely mid-engine. Definitely. It's got scoops to feed the radiators on side parts in the rear.
Yeah, I see. Nice spot.
Every now and again, I see things. Even without my glasses, it's good that.
Racing mediums for Christian, P3. Zabasic is currently P2, and he has a
unusual position for him.
Yeah, well, this is the interesting thing about the whole tyre choice, because pace versus, especially pace over 63 laps, it's an interesting one. To see exactly the tyre choices, how that
does.
fares. But that's staying about 6.8, 6.9 between himself and P1 on Botto, who's also on racing mediums. He's in the four-wheel drive Supra.
Everybody needs somebody to love. Women to love. A sweetheart kiss. Sugar to miss. What's the sort of length of time you can sing a song before they do a strike? Isn't there like you can do like a tiny bit of a song?
As long as the frequencies aren't the same, you'll be okay.
Damn. I'm probably in the same key.
It'd be good if we could play some of our own music as well. It's a shame about that. It's really good. Let's have a little bit of Rush right now. Get some Rush playing.
Red Bar Cheddar. One day, if I ever take streaming seriously, that will be my intro song. It's about a car. Come on.
It's fluctuating between Golden Botto and Zabazic in P1 and P2. It's fluctuating between 6.8 and 7 seconds. So 0.2 of a second is being lost and gained per lap, which is quite interesting. But again, I think going off your previous comment, Brew, with regards to driver ability, I'm pretty curious to see how these two fare, because they are both very good drivers, and 1/10 of a second isn't a lot of time. Obviously, if you're doing that over a long time, then it is. So it's going to be interesting to see how this fares. 6.606 for Golden Botto. Zabazic seems to be finding his groove now, actually. His mediums just begin to bed in.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because I don't know what the Scooby-Doo's like in Gran Turismo 7 mode, but I found it very peaky, the turbo. So it was a bit of a challenge to control it out of tight bends and stuff like this. Just on a couple of times I drove it around one of Diaco's races. I think it was one of the DTM ones. There was a practice, and I just went on there. But Zabazic is in a Toyota, and if I understand correctly, the Toyota and Polyphony have an agreement, don't they? Which is why it's very annoying. Let's all talk about cars. They were saying how brilliant that Toyota Aqua is when it's awful. It's the worst car I've ever driven. In real life or otherwise, it was just pants. But he's in a Supra, and the Supra is meant to be a bit quicker or something, kind of like cheap mode.
Yeah, and
is that true? I don't know if that's true.
Well, there may be truth to it, yeah, but I think driver ability at the end of the day, it's. I think driver ability. Say you're in an OP car over the phone, and say maybe a car that's not very good around a track. Depending on what drivers are in those cars, you're still going to see a different result, in my opinion, as opposed to thinking the fastest car's going to win. Because it might only be fastest when you get all the parameters right, and even then you're probably only gaining, maybe a thousandth or two.
Okay. Yeah.
I think consistency is ultimately the key here, and again, this is why I'm interested for this one. We're also doing a long stream for those in need in Ukraine. We've got some amazing people on board. We've got some fast dudes, and we've also got an amazing battle for P1 between Golden Botto and Zavi. So over the course of 63 laps, over the choice of tyres, consistency, in my opinion, is going to show.
Yeah. Well, it was one of my things with the Bathurst. The only race I've taken part in, proper race I've taken part in, and actually enjoyed, was that first race of the Bathurst Road to 161. And I put a lot of practice into it. I did, that week alone, I did well over 200 laps, just to try and get consistent. In fact, I knew I was never going to be fast enough to sort of be anything other than last, because I'd seen all these races and I'd seen the time. But I wanted to improve, but also become consistent with the faster times on the different tyres, different fuel levels and that kind of thing. I kind of did. I pretty much knew when I was on a particular tyre what times I would be doing, and I made a lot less mistakes. And I enjoyed the flow you got going over the mountain. If once you sort of managed to get the flow and the precision, But like you say, it was the consistency that allowed you to. You can do one fast turn, and then the next lap you do 4 corners brilliantly, and you crash on the 5th one. That's no good. That doesn't really help, does it? But yeah, consistency shows that you've nailed it. Yeah.
Yes, we've got someone in chat saying amazing liveries, and we are currently on the TV camera shots of Diaco Bub, designer of liveries, and bestlivery.com, also exiting the pits now. But again, I'm very impressed with everyone that's put the effort in today for making a livery for today's event.
Indeed.
Hey, Damo.
Do you have a favourite so far? So go on, Dirk.
I just want to say hello to Damo. That was all. Sorry.
That's okay, mate. It's no worries.
Hello, Damo. I noticed Damo was at the top of some of the times on my road to getting multiplayer. So should we call it that? My journey to multiplayer status. I noticed that some of the things Damo was right up there.
Yes, Damo is a quick dude. That's off to him. He's definitely put time in as well, because he put some quick times down when I've raced with him, but I've also seen him on the top 10 leaderboards, and I've got a lot of sim races on my PlayStation, so to see him in the top 10 when I know that there's so many beating Gran Turismo 7 is a testament to his ability.
And like you say, the time was put into it, because he's definitely improved in the year, because it's a year since I got Gran Turismo Sport and the PlayStation.
Yeah, we've got Golden Botto in the pits, going for a different set of tyres as well. Some using mediums,
Mediums. He's got no fuel left.
So yeah, and he's gone from P1 to P3 now. Zavic's taking a position. Still Lee in P3, Dirk in P4. He's losing many positions.
It's filling up though. It's filling up. You know what it is? It's because they're not using a pressurised hose like Formula 1. They've just got a big can, and there's no way that's 100 litres. They wouldn't be able to lift it.
That's very true. Yeah.
No.
Good old physics. So he's come out in 7th, but he's a minute ahead of Johnny Tonic.
That's going to be an interesting one to see. The deficit 1.8 seconds is a 1.88 or so there as it chases down P6. Just a McLaren.
Oh, he's on the racing hards now.
Well, we're nearly halfway through the race. It's funny when time just seems to fly when you're in the moment.
We are absolutely nowhere near halfway through the race. We're on lap 21 of 63, so we are a third of the way of lap.
No, that's fair. We're a third.
Do you know
of the
what
way.
you sound? That's like a politician's move, isn't it? This is like when there was.
That's fair.
That's 20%. Well, that's nearly a third. No, it isn't. Yeah, it's close, very close. Round it up.
Push them. So 2.7.
That's like when you get like one illness a year, and you've halved it to half the illness a year. Half the illness of this year, but in 20 million people, only one person got ill.
Interesting. Golden Botto has gone on his hard, so he's on his final set of tyres and he'll be back on his softs, but you see how many laps he does. He is on fresh hards. He's chasing down McLaren. He's gone from 1.8 to a 2.7, a 4.444 there as well as McLaren chases down just Dio in P5. And who else have we got up there? Dirk Mujolina in P4.
I've just got this song from the end of the 80s in my head. It might even be the beginning of the 90s. She was a black singer. She had one hit, and it was peace something, peace in the valley, peace in the something, peace in the something. I remember on top of the box. I was just looking at the back of Zavic's car, and it's got stop war and peace on it. And it just, why that came to mind, the association with it. It's like, yeah, that was a very long time ago. We're talking over 30 years ago now, so my memory's very strange. I can't remember what your name is, Thingy. And yeah, I can remember that. I can't remember. It's mad.
2.6 separating podium P3 to Dirk in P4. And Mr. Limunky, the other way around, in the Subaru crossing the start finish line, hurdling his way up to turn 1 hard on the brakes, split the apex, thereabouts, and he's 3 seconds ahead of Mujolina and just under 4 seconds of P2 currently occupied by the legendary Vines racing in the beautiful 4GT, and Zavicic finding his way in P1 again.
I want to point out that he's got just under half a tank of fuel, so he's got plenty of time. Not much wear on those tyres. He's now 28 seconds ahead of Chrissy.
He's also on very, very, very low fuel. Mediums are warmed up a little bit.
Got to get to the end of the lap. Not much wear on those tyres. I mean, there's some, but not. He's I'm going to say outside because it's that rotation of track. But let's say right rear.
Slow through.
Oh. Yeah, you can tell his right rear's going a bit. Because
Yes.
it's just like, back end. Slow down.
Yeah,
I've done that. Because he had a not tank slapper. I actually found a video. I sent a video with it was kind of a mixture of bike road races. So a little bit of Isle of Man, a little bit of the Northwest 100s and Ulster 100s and this kind of stuff. Nutters doing over 200 mile an hour on public roads, that kind of thing. And one guy came over a rise and dipped down and had a tank slapper. And it was great. I sent it to Hugh with the timestamp saying, this is a tank slapper. Look at the bars hitting the tank. There you go. It's great. I love it when I can illustrate my point with real footage. Vines in the pits.
It's losing positions, but again, is losing positions is the real question.
When we've got nuclear fusion-powered cars, then we don't have to do pit stops. But until that time, we need fuel.
Got the 2 Dirks just making their way under the bridge. It's the very awkward final hairpin here in Deep Forest. One of my favourite tracks as a child. I did want to perhaps. Yeah, it's a horrible corner. It's that where it dips in the road. It really does catch you out.
It's weight transfer though. Because this is something I was learning. I'm chucking up because this is not important, but part of the GT7 experience. I like tuning, and the way the tuning's happening.
Dirk and Dirk side by side into turn 1.
No, that's overlapping.
With you.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be nasty. All he was doing was trying to not crash because he's in that Kiefer with a big pendulum out the back. I want to kill you, why? Because I can.
I guess it wasn't the best choice, this car.
That's what I've chosen for a World Series car.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
What
I've got a massive respect for Porsche recently. Huge respect.
They make some very nice cars.
Space breed.
When I'm rich, I don't want to be famous, but when I'm rich, I will be buying it's brand new right now, Porsche Boxster S GTS 4 litre manual, 6-speed manual with a 4 litre flat 6 naturally aspirated. It's like the last proper analog car, I think. But okay, it's expensive, but it's not like super car, but it's fast enough. 2-seater, nice open top for nice weather, built by Porsche so it won't break. What a great car, it's fantastic. It's just they still persist. The things they've done with this pendulum is amazing. However, it's still a pendulum. It just is.
Indeed, there's 2 things that I want to say right now. The first one is Zabicic is making his way. We've got blue flags being waved. as Zabasic is making his way through the field, showing his goat-like qualities. He's also took a real push around the Red Bull Maxi round that horrible final corner. Zabasic pushing through, but the Subaru is an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. I did get that wrong.
I believe it's rear-wheel drive in this version. This is GT3.
Rear wheel.
Yeah, because it's a GT3 car, it's rear-wheel drive. I believe. Sorry, it doesn't sound like I'm sort of good stuff on it. Yes. I think
I said it was four-wheel drive earlier.
What's the difference? See, this is people say all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and it's like it's got four wheels. It's the same.
I do think there's a difference. I don't know whether four-wheel drive means all the wheels move independently and all-wheel drive means the front and back move independently with the diffs, or vice versa, is what I've just said. Maybe chat can let me know. But we do have Dutchy McDutchinson in PTMK there. It's beautiful race for Ukraine. Liveried Lexus, and he's been hunted down by Golden Crash in the all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive Subaru Group 3. He comes in second.
To me, they're just the same. Because the first sort of four-wheel drive car was the Willys Jeep, I believe, or the very early one. And then the Willys Jeep was taken apart and modified on Anglesey to make the Land Rover, on the beach on the west coast of Anglesey. The first on-road, and then of course you had the tractors, it was called the Formula Ferguson. If you see FF cars, that means Formula Ferguson, because Ferguson I don't know. But the first on-road four-wheel drive system was actually in the mid-1966, I think it was, something like that.
Yeah.
The Janssen Interceptor FF, which was also the first car to feature ABS. It was a Dunlop system that was used on airplanes, adapted to cars. Then the next one, of any note, was of course the Audi Quattro. But the thing about the Interceptor is it had a limited slip diff in the centre, whereas the very first Audi Quattro didn't, so you could still get one wheel spin until they realised their mistake and they actually started to put this in it and made Quattro the true Quattro system. No, so they're all, and then you get your Range Rover. Range Rover had a limited slip diff as the centre diff. So it was a more advanced four-wheel drive system than the Land Rover, the actual normal Land Rover, Series 1, 2, 3, whatever. Because they were lockable diffs, you could lock them if you were off-road, but when you were on-road, it gave you a bit more security, but not much. You couldn't, it would wreck the transmission if you had it. You needed slip conditions.
Yeah.
So, but then you get, I mean, all-wheel drive makes sense to me if you've got something like these massive six-wheel or eight-wheel trucks, you know, that for very slippery conditions, like the big Volvos they use in quarries, or military trucks, you know, with eight wheels, that kind of thing. It makes sense to call them all-wheel drive as a sort of shorthand. I don't know.
Well, guys, Subaru Group 3 are FR or rear-wheel drive cars. There are no Group 3 cars with four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Both three are different.
Look, he's cowboy. Oh dear. Porsche is so. What's fun is cowboy. Is Porsche like finish for Porsche or for car that spins every time you try and put the pedal down in the bends?
It's a good question. It's a very good question.
Sorry, is it my chat? Is probably yeah, God bless you.
Do you use in P3 in Peugeot? We've got Le Monkey, Mr. Leon P2 Zabasic making his way through the field.
I'm reading your chat. Carry on. You just carry on reading your chat. I have got a mute button, otherwise I'm muting. I'm reading.
Surreality favourite Porsche 944 Turbo post was a child. Yeah, that's an interesting thing about Porsche as well. I was never ever into Porsches growing up for the sole reason I didn't like the way they look. But now I've grown up and racing's come on, like we mentioned earlier. I've got a real passion for Porsche because they are serious race-bred machines. I know they're necessarily matter. I mean, the top end isn't supposed to be as good as it. Porsche, but the handling is supposed to be the best if and when we can get the most out of it.
When you say the top end, do you mean road cars or racing cars?
All of them, absolutely all of them. I think the lap record for the Nürburgring is the Porsche, I believe, is the 919 something. I can't remember, but it did the Nürburgring in like 5 minutes 40. 5 minutes 40. I can't remember.
You know, they tend to chase. They tend to chase Nürburgring, Nordschleife times. The thing is that the Porsche. I mean, back in the day, the Porsche I loved was the 959 because it was just incredible. It was that four-wheel drive system was so incredibly advanced, and of course they made it to be a Group B rally car, and then they used it for that. And it had this multi-clutch centre diff, and it was just an incredible car, and so fast. It was also, I don't know if like the first or anything like that, but the way they had the turbos on the car. Most turbos, when you've got something like a flat 6 or a V6, they'll have two turbojobs of the same size, one for each side. You know, so it's all balanced out and equal. Yeah. This doesn't have that. That's in parallel turbos. But the 959 had it in series, which is popular now, with like these twin turbo diesel BMWs and petrol BMWs, like the 3-litre straight six engine they use in the M3 and stuff. They are now the same as the Porsche 959, which is in series. They have a small turbo for the lower RPM and then a big turbo cut in, and it reduced the lag. And that thing could do 195 mile an hour, so with only 450 horsepower in the 80s. So it wasn't.
Sorry, this is interesting. Hold your thought, but we've just had just exit the pits in P3, who is now behind his very good friend Matthew, who's a big fan of Orange is the New Black. He's in P11 though with Winston, I believe. We've got these two fighting out in identical cars now in the Peugeot. .6 separating P1 to P2. We are now halfway through that time. They're never going to get back. And that is it.
I'm about to confirm it is halfway.
Thank you.
In case anybody wondered, he's right.
Christian's still in PTMK there. As he makes his way under the tunnels. In pursuit is Mr. Lee, Subaru, chasing down the Ford GT here at Deep Forest for the Race for Ukraine. And again, link is in the description for those that do want to support, even £1, you know, anything. It's baby wipes, blankets, absolutely anything. At the end of the day, there are families, children, mothers, kids that are escaping their homes. They have absolutely zero shelter. I've never personally experienced it, but I can't imagine that even being in close proximity to a bomb, let alone gunfire, tanks, aeroplanes, helicopters, is a nice feeling where you live.
Well, of course, I mean, this is the thing, people are used to watching Hollywood films, and they think it's fact. They think that if a building blows up, people are okay, and it kills like one person. It's like, I was looking at footage of someone I follow on Instagram who's and they had to flee their homes, so they stopped posting. And the next post they had was a video of a missile hitting the building opposite. And of course, one of the things that happens is that it blows up and you get a bang and it shakes things, and then you get a shockwave. Shockwave broke all the windows in their apartment, but you never see that in Hollywood. So you know, the collateral damage for something like that. And imagine you're standing there filming it, and all of a sudden you've got glass shreds. But so you don't need to even be that close to being injured, and of course you're going to be absolutely terrified. Because it's loud, it's loud and it's scary.
It's incredibly loud and incredibly scary, yeah. And I think, you know, the Mujolina, in all honesty, came to me first and presented the idea, and as soon as he said, let's do a race for Ukraine, I just thought, well, that is an amazing idea. I'm absolutely going to be donating myself, because, you know, it will only be a small amount because that's all I can afford, but I do know that it will go towards something extremely valuable to those in need, and it's such a horrendous thing.
It's a very difficult situation. As Sir Anthony just said, it's a terrible situation. The thing that I was listening to a lot of people talking and stuff, and one of the biggest problems, you get the politicians in Britain trying to sound like they're
Moomin.
Okay. Oh, Moomin, yeah, bye-bye Moomin, yeah. Bye-bye Moomin. Virtue signalling, saying, oh, we need to do a no-fly zone, we need to do this, we need to do that, and then you get some people with a slightly more level head saying, the problem with that is that Putin is mad as a box of frogs, and really doesn't really care. And if you do that, he's got the button with his nukes.
That's what we're being told, yeah.
Well, he has, because when they did all the political thing, because we all thought we were safe, you know, I was in Germany when the war came down, and it was amazing. It was just fantastic. That's the year I was there, 89, 90, and honestly, I grew up with all of the fear of nuclear war, and it was terrible. It was terrifying as a kid in the 80s. And, you know, you're old enough to sort of be cognizant of the danger and young enough to not be able to do anything about it. So it was a fantastic time, and everybody thought, well, we're all mates now, we're all friends, and it was great. But then, so all the disarmament, world disarmament, which was a wonderful thing, because we don't really need all of these stupid things. But of course, Ukraine got rid of all their nuclear weapons, and Russia just kind of didn't. Sort of people got in charge there.
Already got the biggest stick.
Yeah, they got the biggest stick, and they weren't going to lose it. And who was going to? It's like watching Team America World Police talking about Kim Jong-il when he won't let Hans Blix look around his weapons of mass destruction. You know, it's just what they're going to do.
I think at the end of the day, you know, I think the issue I have with it all is those that are being captured, the Russian army, are saying that they were sent out for training exercises and that kind of thing. But then it turned into a war. If you actually look at the, and I put this in quote marks, legalities of joining the army, when wartime is in effect, it is, do I say you can be severely punished for not taking orders? And my point is, they're being forced to blow up homes. I mean, we all know what's going on. I don't need to say it, but I just think it's the fact that they've been forced, and that's what gets me.
Yeah, you've got human beings that normally would not do that kind of thing. But, and also you've got to remember, you know, again, a lot of Western politicians are sort of saying, oh, we need to show the Russian people, or they'll do the other thing where they blame the Russian people. Oh, the Russian people fought this war and they're terrible people. It's not like that.
No, it isn't the Russian people.
They're being told something. 60% of the, you know, they're being told something on the only medium they really have easy access to. The propaganda of it all. We all know what propaganda's like. It's always been bad, but these days it's like everything's propaganda. Every TV show, everything is some kind of message they're trying to show something. And these poor sods are being shown that as well. So a lot of them are believing what they're being told, which is very sad, but it's no different to what goes on in Britain now, or America, where you don't get critical thinking, you don't think for yourself. So you end up having terrible things happening to everybody. You know, everybody.
People that didn't sign up for it. I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't agree that war should exist, but the other side to it is both parties have agreed to, pick up a gun and shoot, which is the problem. But I do just want to quickly interrupt though as well. As important as it is, we've got Diacobo in the pits. Dirk, did you want to say a word or two with anything about Slivery? How we feeling?
What? Sorry, I'm a little bit concentrated right now. I'm in a good flow.
Say any
Don't worry about
words.
that. You just crash. It's fine.
I learned
Max is on his heels.
when I don't talk, I drive much better.
Yeah. I can.
Oh.
We've got DTR Diacobo now just ahead of DTR Power Maxi.
How could I get there? That's interesting. He was far in front of me.
Well, this is the interesting thing about pit stops. I think it's definitely sort of shook up the strategies.
This is already my third pit stop.
It's skill, Diaco. That's what it is. Pure skill. You just, I don't know, you used the Schwartz.
Just Dio coming up to a couple of back markers of be a blue flag. He's being waiting for the marshals here at Deep Forest. There it is. Just Dio, is he going to take the inside line from Juby? No, he's going to take the racing line. Hasn't quite made it happen, but Juby has seen that he wants that position. And he is absolutely deserved, and now side by side with Maxi. Maxi giving him that position, makes his way through the blue flag, and now is in pursuit of Mujolina. But again, we have got the fuel and tyres to consider. Racing softs, I know we just went back into the pits, I think after one lap with the hards on.
So you could pretend Formula 1 and decide you want a fake show. So you bring out the safety car to bring everyone together to the field. Don't do that one. But, you could. Do I sound bitter? Do I? Just wondered.
No.
As long as I don't sound bitter.
Now, is that Golden Botto? No, it's not. So Golden Botto is 3.5 seconds away from Zavi as we close in towards the final stretch of the race. We begin to see the suns going down now as well. 25 seconds separating himself between five. So the P1 is on between Zavicic and Golden Botto. Christian it's P3, just in pursuit of Mad Matthew in the Peugeot, and Mr. Lee in the Subaru is on the fight for P3 here. Mad Matthew letting the fight for P3 make its way through.
So we'll be coming in this lap for a pit stop. It's on hard, but it's got no fuel.
Interesting.
First pit stop?
Soft sun as well.
Have you said first pit stop?
Golden Botto's coming in for a pit stop.
Yeah,
He will be.
not
He's got no
the
fuel.
first.
Oh no, he's done about 4,612, just like everybody else. It's that Scooby-Doo drinks payout, isn't it?
Christian in the beautiful 4GT is a mile away from the infamous 400 miles it'll have completed in that 4GT. Kevin Lee in the slipstreams to go for the inside line. He's taken up, he's already side by side. He's got priority over the corner. Christian's had to concede as he was side by side before the turn in.
He's got no fuel either, so he's coming
into the pits for Christian. Kevin Lee stays out. This is going to be interesting once we come towards the final of this race. We've got different tactics at play here. Golden Botto also in the pits. That was a good call from Rue there. In the Subaru, 3.936. Subaru himself, and then he goes down that leaderboard. Dutchy in P3. Currently holding that podium position. We'll see what they do. Christian in the 4GT. Fueling up. He'll be back on with the softs, and it is going to be a push. There's quite a few songs actually on Gran Turismo, and it sounds like they're saying pushage.
probably are. I mean, on Gran Turismo 7, they keep saying, you've got a driver coach, and he looks like he lives in his mum's basement and lives a heaven. So, you know, when you've got some genuinely fast people like Zimsic and, super famous, wonderful people like you coming out of these wonderful statements, why not nick them and use them? Maybe they'll give you royalties on them.
Do you know, I think it's a fair point that actually, we've got Giant Tonic and P8 here, but I think I mentioned F1, and I'm not bringing this up because of what happened, but the final race of F1, when I started watching it with Kobe, and that was one of the races that we paid for and watched, and when that final part happened, my heart was through the roof. I don't consider myself a massive F1 fan, but my heart was through the roof. Because I was like, I cannot even believe this is happening, and the adrenaline was going through me, and it reminded me of the UFC in the sense that it's all for entertainment. And
yep.
I do believe that F1, cash is king. I think most of the cars in there are Mercedes, the different teams, and I think Bugs mentioned a pretty good point that, the F1 driver, his dad actually does deal with Putin. Cash is king, right?
Well, the only reason, like we've said before, anyone that's in F1 is a fast driver, a very fast driver. That's not to even drive one of those cars. I've got to believe it. But he was awful as an F1 driver. His only way of ever getting past Schumacher, who's Mickey Schumacher, as lovely as he is, with the name to go with it and all that kind of stuff. Good. But at least he
Shut up.
Come on.
Savage is in the right sandwich at the minute.
I mean, he's like I say, he's a hell of a lot better than I ever be, but he's not very good. But, he's not full of himself. He's a really nice lad. Whereas Marzipan, Chiquitita Marzipan, when he's at Monza last year, and he just sticks himself at the, I can't remember the name of the chicane, it's the second chicane. You go around and he just shoves himself there and smacks, and expects Schumacher to just, drive off the road or not race him, and then goes, he hit me! No, what happened is that you're an arrogant little twerp, and you shouldn't be in that car. Duh. The only reason he's in that car is because Tass really needed the money from his dad.
You're not wrong, mate. Very true.
That's true, absolutely true. That gives the Schumacher another car. I guess he would do a better job.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Give him a while. He did the F4, F3, F2, all with championship wins in the first season.
Absolutely.
He can't be so bad how you are saying.
I don't dislike the guy, and he is, like I say, he's a fast driver to be beat. But we all know when Alonso was in what was it called? It became Toro Rosso. It was owned by an Australian. He was there with Mark Webber. What's gone wrong with my brain? My brain. Anyway,
I'm not sure. I can't help.
The back team.
Drinking helps.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And full well it doesn't help me. Anyway, I nearly had it. Anyway, it's an Italian team. It's now Toro Rosso, or whatever, Alpha Tauri.
It was Toro Rosso.
No, it was before Toro Rosso. Red Bull bought the team and it became Toro Rosso. But it was the slowest car.
It was the Sauber.
No, because that's now Alpha. Slower than Sauber. Sauber's always... They were put it this way, when BAR were rubbish but had tons of money, the cost of BAR's motorhome was the size of the budget of that team. It will come to me. Anyway, Alonso and Webber were both in it, and everyone knew. No, it's not Sauber.
Super Aguri.
No, that was the Japanese team.
I guess.
It began with an M.
Minardi.
Minardi, thank you very much. When Alonso was in a Minardi, that was his first team in F1, everyone could see the sheer ability the guy had. You know, even then. And it wasn't just that he beat Webber, who no slouch. It was the way, you know, you can always tell. You can always tell. And unless young Mickey gets a sort of a, I don't know, a big chunk of Schwartz, or gets his superpowers, he's never going to be world champion material. He's always going to be good, but a plodder. And it's ridiculous in my mind to call an F1 driver a plodder because they're all so good compared with normal humans like me. You know? Yep. But bless him. I wish he was. It would have been such an amazing story. Imagine him being as good as his dad and becoming a multiple world champion. That'd just be amazing. But
we've got an amazing fight here for P5. Christian is in pursuit of a Dio, and a little bit of contact there. Nothing too major, but it's a very good fight here going on P5. And I've also changed the view when you are racing. You do get some more views. I've just realised. So we are currently inside the cockpit, chasing down just Dio here at Deep Forest.
Buggy Bug saying Minardi was a good starting point for many World Drive Champions. He was. Minardi was, and they had so little money. But did such a good job with that money. Like I say, VAR had less points than them. Minardi were ahead of them. And VAR had so much tobacco money, British American tobacco money. They had Jacques Villeneuve. They were boasting they'd be winning races by the end of the first season, and of course it took them about 5 months to win anything. The weight transfer on that last corner once again, because it's mid-engine, sorry. The back end was a bit skittish, isn't it? So watching Christian go around that last corner. Challenge.
Giant Tonic is keeping up with Zavicic here. They made the work to the start-finish line for lap 44.
I've got the tooth behind me.
We don't know what the fuel settings are on Javicic's car. I think he's turned the engine right down. Okay. Yeah, I think Javicic has turned his fuel right down and he's taking it easy on his tyres to get the most out of the
Wait
racing
for the
cars.
last stretch. Yeah, that's interesting.
The reason I'm saying that is because Ryan Racer's catching him up. And you don't get 22 or 25 seconds ahead of someone, but then to then catch you up because you're slow. And we know he's not slow anyway. So his Tic Tacs is changed from orange Tic Tacs to mint Tic Tacs.
Oh, what incredible racing between Christian and Dio here. Diaco Bub in front of these two as they are fighting it out. Making way through the final little left-hand dip. Dirk goes to the left-hand side. He's a beautiful Porsche 911.
I like that fella, he's very fair. Oh, Christian's up inside, can he outbrake? Dio, he's taking the wide line.
Look at this side by side, incredible.
So clean, God, we love the clean. Clean.
This is what we're here to see.
Oh, a slide, what a drift. Fantastic, how did he control that?
Come on, lads.
Super. Get in there. And on the same tyres, Christian's got a lot more fuel though, so whatever happens, he's going to end up ahead, because Dio's going to have to come in. We had, when I was giggling earlier, it was because I was living in your chat, and we had, I can't remember I do apologise for not remembering your handle, Jay Silver. He's saying, Mazzy, you listen, it's possible you put the safety car on track until my driver Dio overtakes him. we'll talk about compensation after the race. That's what was making me laugh, because we were talking about that last race. And oh, it was superb. Oh, yeah.
What is quite interesting in the EDTM, I'm fighting with Christian head to head, and here I get lapped.
Yes, for those that are watching, we have an EDTM series. I've just seen Zabasic go into the pits as well. So he's going to go on to his final set of tyres now, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, for those that are watching, like I say, get subscribed and get liking to everyone else streaming. But Diaco Bub, we have a EDTM series. We will be racing on the 2nd of April, is that correct?
Yep.
What?
Racing on the 2nd of April.
Next Saturday, Rue.
Okay.
I think I knew that. Did I know that?
You know, you should know.
I think I said I knew. And then, obviously, stopped knowing for a little bit. And now I know again.
That's great.
So Mr. Lee is in P1. Zabasic fueling up. I'm assuming he's going to go into the softs. And out he goes. So he just left the pits. And Mr. Lee is 27 seconds up the road. Stop left, or we'll see whether Zabasic has got softer tyres and he's now got a fight on for P1. Currently occupied by Lee Monkey.
Mr. Lee's got an 1/8 of a tank of fuel to Mr. Zabasic's full tank and racing softs. So,
yep, Juby out the pits, just Dio and Christian coming back in for the fight. The 5P4 continues to go side by side. Christian's on the right side of Dio. Dio, I think, just closing the door yet again on Christian as the Peugeot and 4GT continue to battle it out here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine. Juby letting the 5P4 go through, taking up wider line. It's absolutely legendary, dude. I'm really happy to see a Juby here with us, but we jump back on board. With Christian. You've got the inside car view as well, Rue. I don't know if you know.
Yes, I saw that. That's a good point. I'm going to remember which button I've got.
R1.
That's the one, yes. So you got the inside, but yeah, they've got that sort of, the one they've nicked off of ACC, where you're looking across. So I do like that.
Back. They're going side by side again. Hard on the brakes, Christian. Going to get it stopped in time. Is he going to get the better run out? We can just see the Peugeot on the rear. Camera a little bit of a power slide of that exit, but it looks as though he's got that position of Dio. We're closing in on the final laps here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine, and we've got an incredible fight to be crowned in PTMK there. Currently occupied by Christian, 0.28 separating.
Predict that Dio's going to be in at the end of this lap based on his fuel. His tyres are also quite warm, whereas Christian's got a half tank and better tyres, so Christian needs to make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, the right rear tyre on Dio's Peugeot is very warm, especially in consideration or comparison to the front left there when he's racing softs.
I think it's a clockwise track though, so that's the one that's going to get most of the pressure, isn't it?
Do you know what I think? I think Dio's going to have to go in the pits anyway. He's going to get another fresh set of softs on, so that might be the deciding factor between himself and Christian, as they're now making their way under the tunnel here at Deep Forest.
We have 15 laps left, so this could be the last round of pit stops.
It's going to go quick.
Vucic is back in the lead. Ryan Racer with no fuel as that's coming to the pits. Dropping back, but a brilliant job. As lead.
Go on, Dio. Push, push. There's still Lee exiting the pits on some softs. So you're going to come into...
Let's see. I want to see how far... Okay, so Chrissy's not going to end up on the podium, I don't think. Oh, no, hold on. No, it just reset itself from a minute behind to 12 seconds.
And interestingly enough, we've got Golden Bottle and Lee both in Subarus here. Lee's just come out of the pits with fresh softs, just over 3/4 of a tank. Golden Botto is on slightly worn softs and closing in towards half a litre in tank, so you could say they're perhaps similarly
So is this going to be a situation
matched.
where Golden Botto's had to turn his engine down to try and get to the end, and that's made him vulnerable to the... He's done a fantastic job here, you know, he could actually end up on the podium.
He's got good slipstream. Is he going to make the move? He's doing it. He's side by side. He's got priority, but is he going to get his stops in time? Fresh softs, are they warm enough? No, he's running wide. Does that mean Mo's going to get the cut back? Oh, they're going to go side by side.
Oh, he just takes it. Just takes it.
He may have had a better run though, and he's got slipstream here, so we'll see what happens as he comes up to turn 1 here at Deep Forest.
Yeah,
Taylor P2.
falling behind.
Battle of the Subarus.
A laggy band effect makes it look like he's closer, but he pulled away. So I think he's on a higher power because he's got more fuel, so he can do it. Get himself out of slipstream, get himself away from the pressure, and then cruise home.
Now, Christian's got 1/4 of a tank left, and Dio's just gone into the pit, so he's going to have a fresh set of softs and fuel to finish the race. So that's going to be an interesting one to see him and Christian as we close towards the end of the race here. Fastest lap goes to Golden Botto as well in the Subaru.
So you don't think that Christian's got enough fuel left to get to the end?
I'm not sure.
Back end of that GT is so twitchy and power. Really doesn't like putting the power down. Doesn't Christian use a pad though?
Yes.
Or is he a wheelie wheel? Right, that explains a lot. That explains an awful lot. Much harder to smoothly get the power down the pad, and also not oversteer. Because I think it was you I heard say that if you worked out that if you get less than 45-degree angle on your steering wheel, you don't lose the back end so easily.
Yeah,
But if you're doing it on a pad, that's much harder to sort of be that precise with it, isn't it?
Yeah. You've got to be a little bit more cautious with your throttle to make sure you don't spin the car, because you can't really do the minor adjustments that you get with a 4-speed pedal.
He's in. Should he have left it another lap? He could have done another 2 laps, I reckon.
Interesting. Let's see where he comes out then as Dio makes his way through Deep Forest. Christian out on the brakes. Tyres off, tyres on. Get them nuts on, and down it goes. Fuel goes in, and let's jump on board with Dio as he closes in.
McLaren's got 3/4 of a tank, so he can get to the end. Mugelina's going to need to stop. So they're also fighting with McLaren JK, for the positions. It's going to be a 3-way fight for 4th, 5th and 6th here. I was thinking.
Nismo and Ryan are also on pad. Nismo.
Oh, okay. And Ryan's 2nd at this point. And he's got fuel to the end.
Assuming Ryan is Lee Monkey. Lee.
Sorry, Lee. Yeah.
Ryan.
So
I'm assuming it's Ryan.
I'll change my doorbell to display.
Now, Christian's at the pits, and he is 8 seconds, nearly 9 seconds ahead of just Dio, but we have 12 laps remaining before we bring this to a close. I do want to take this time to thank everyone that's joined Ryan and Rue's chat for the live co-coms. We do have a link to Rue's live stream, so go give him a like, go say hello, go give him a wave. Lots of the drivers are streaming as well with the UNICEF donation link, as we of course are all here today for the same united cause, which is the race for link in the description.
I'd like to thank the Funniest Cowboy for being a loyal listener-watcher. He's enjoying the racing.
Legend.
Absolutely.
Dutchy P5 in the Lexus. 2.5 seconds separating himself between Dirk Mugelina in P4 from Germany. Also live streaming. Bad Matthew having an encounter with Barrier there. And McLaren's like, thank you boys, I'll take I'll take them positions. So Duchy is in P5, making his way through. Mujolina P4, 31 seconds though, separating himself between P3. P3 is 8.6 seconds away from K Lee. Bottom on the Racing Softs, half a tank. Lee on the new softs, half a tank. And Zavisic just over half tank and on new softs. So they're all similar tyres there. It's going to be an interesting one to see who is going to take. I mean, I guess P1, 2 and 3. You never know. With racing, anything can happen. So that can change. But Zavisic does have a 13.1 second lead over Ryan in P2 there.
Angelina in the pits. So that this, I think that we've got something like the end order, you know, coming in the next lap or so, because we've got 10 laps left and you've got 12 seconds between McLaren JK and Vines, 9 seconds between Vines and Dio. So that's 1-6, unless something really bad happens. Like Dio realises he's got his hazard lights on and it boggles him.
Well, as long as you're present enough, you're kind of in the flow by now, aren't you? You know, as long as your mind doesn't go elsewhere, you can keep in that flow. That's why we love racing.
But he's pushing the catch up. He wants the position. You can tell he's pushing because he's taking a lot of speed into corners, understeering a bit. This is where I'd be talking to Hugh when we used to do this kind of stuff and saying, you know, just step back a little bit, breathe, slow down, stop pushing for speed and reaching for lap times, and just drive smoothly. And the times come to you. It's easy to do. You want to, I want to go faster, I want to go faster, and that's when you overdrive and you want to go slower.
Well, kind of touched on your point earlier. You know, I've been on the simulator a lot more, and I've been on it with a different mindset in the sense of really just trying to feel the car. And one of the things I've learned, and this is one of the things I see a lot of people do, and I did, when you come into the corners, you just turn the wheel, and what that does is you can't turn as much. What I've realised is it's all about like keeping, as obvious as it is, Tonic with a little spin there, Shane in the McLaren. He's been a legend there, keeping up with Zavisic. But as I was saying, you know, keeping the car stable is now in the forefront of my mind, as opposed to turning the car. Yeah. And it's that keeping it stable, so bringing the wheel back ever so slightly. And again, the force feedback is incredible in this game. I do have a lot of love for Gran Turismo 7. And I'm curious to jump back onto Gran Turismo Sport and see whether it was just my mindset, but I do find that, and I don't know whether it's because of the road cars either, because they are so much more unstable, that it's just made me realise that keep the car stable, don't turn as much. It works, but you know, when I've been on track and you're hitting 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, you can't. If I was to turn my car 45 degrees on the wheel, it would be game over. Yeah, absolutely. So
remember that slip angle? That's what I was talking about. That's what the slip. It's the slip angle of the tyres, not like the side movement of the car. If you turn too much, you go past where the tyres can grip, and therefore you grip less, and it slides straight off. Whereas if you turn less, you've still got the grip of the tyre. And like you say, you just got to keep the car. It's matching the speed to the grip that's available, and not then ruining it by turning too much. It's so hard to do.
Maximising grip rather than panicking and turning.
Yeah, it's not a switch. It's linear to a point.
Yeah, the car wants to go straight. It doesn't actually want to go around a corner, does it?
Exactly. You've got to. And that guy I was telling you about, that Peter Windsor. The bits I like are it's my dirty secret, which isn't a secret at all. I'm a total nerdy geek. I love all the detailed stuff like this. And one of the stuff he talks about is the technical side, which I love. The other thing he talks about, and he's the only one I found that talks about the driving styles of the different drivers. Hence that thing that he was saying about when the cars are easy to drive. He was the one that was saying that it stops the best from showing the talent. And he has a couple of really good videos talking about Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. compared with fast drivers like Bottas, Perez, all this kind of stuff. And the thing they do that's different, people like Bottas and Perez, they are amazing feel and car control. Okay, so they enter a corner and it starts to go and then they can control it. People like Lewis and Max, they do stuff with the car before you ever reach the corner to mean that it can go round it faster and you never lose that.
Yeah.
You know, they settle the car, and you can tell that by the wear rate on the tyres. Because Max is super fast, as is Lewis, and both of them can look after their tyres better than their... Even if Bottas used to out-qualify Lewis, in the race would come to Lewis, because Bottas would wreck his tyres. You know, and once they're wrecked, it's no grip anymore, whereas Lewis... Not only was the tyre wear less, it was more even side to side because he would settle the car and it would put less pressure on the outside tyres. All sorts of stuff like this. And I got me thinking, well, I haven't got the skill to be anything like that good, but I want to learn how to do that kind of thing. Because that will be the difference between me always being at the back and me being at least competitive. So
Indeed.
You feel like you come to that sort of conclusion yourself as well. That's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when the wheel is at 45 degree, the car is at any point wanting to spin. And I think Deep Forest, this track, has a lot of little bumps, like P2 is going through now as it chases Shane down in the McLaren, and the final hairpin. You're going really slow, but as soon as you go over that bump, if you've got the wheel turned, it wants to spin. So you have to either keep up the accelerator or just balance the weight out a little bit more. It's very interesting.
Bug WRX also knows who Peter Windsor is. And he says Peter Windsor F1 is one of the best when it comes to F1. I agree. Absolutely agree. He was the team manager for Williams in the 90s. So he knows stuff. And he has his tech guru is a guy called Scarbs, Peter Scarborough, who's a race engineer. And he does some very clear, very incisive treatise, if you like, can't be a better word than that, of any sort of technical changes in the designs of the cars. So if anyone's wondering anything about the... Maxi. Having a bit of a moment, bless him. Yeah, mind you, I don't know about in this game, but in Gran Turismo Sport, I find the NSX just a pig to drive. I don't find it easy at all. It seems nice, it looks nice, and then corners.
Indeed. Well, big shout out to Juby though for joining us, rocking the Renault RS today here at the Forest for the Race for Ukraine. Maxi just in the back of that shot there, Juby. Chasing Juby down for that position, and who's that? We've got just Dio. The Peugeot hunting down the Honda as they make their way through the final. Left-hand kick here at Deep Forest. Up a little bit of a bump, down again, and then there's a little bit of a bump here. Right there, the brakes, try to maximise that cornering angle. DOP6, let's have a little bit of a look. Diaco Bub, Porsche 911 out of the brakes into turn 1.
That's very interesting. Lee has got the fastest lap, and he's after Visage. 4 laps to go, but he's 9.5 seconds behind him. It's fantastic. Imagine if he caught him. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a shock, but amazing. But what a race! What a fantastic race!
It's been amazing. I really appreciate you having me here, Rue.
Oh no, thank you for asking me.
Very, very happy you're here. And big shout out to Diaco Bub. Again, if you're looking for liveries, bestlivery.com, go check it out. It gives us a flash. What a race. At Matthew, Race for Ukraine, Stand with Ukraine, Team PSS, with just Dio there and Tonic in P8.
We've been asked a question by Funniest Cowboy. What is our opinion of who's going to win the Season 2 of EDTM?
It's a very good question. It's a very good question.
Oh man.
Crew.
Unknown.
Is it Pro? I could say Holman.
Holman, yeah,
EQS Holman.
that wouldn't surprise me. That dude is quick. EQS
Or
Holman.
Deck. Isn't Deck in it as well?
Yes, but he won't win the series. Holman is faster and more constant.
Yeah.
I've just seen that
Okay.
Ryan's took the fastest lap by nearly 3/10.
I told you that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
mind.
let me say it again. Fine. You see, you're used to me interrupting you with babble. But I've noticed that, and I was saying he's chasing down Zvicic. That's when I was saying he was chasing Zvicic down, that's why. See, I noticed he got fastest lap, and he's not going to catch him in 3 laps, but he is.
Who, Dio?
No, Lee.
Lee, with you. Sorry, Zavicic is just coming up behind Dio now.
How many laps are left?
There are 3 laps left.
3 laps left, okay. Hi Reggie.
3 laps left. The leader is just coming up to the end of lap 60 out of 63. So
Go lap 60. There it is. We're now on lap 60. 3 laps remaining from the leader, Zavicic. Christian P5 in the Ford GT. Big shout out to him. He's also streaming. Go say hello. We've got Dutchy in PTMK in the Lexus. Golden Crash in P3 in the beautiful Subaru. His way through horrible final chicane there. And we have Mr. Lee, 8 seconds separating himself. And he's done a really good job there. Get back up to 8 seconds of Zavicic, still pushing that Subaru, and we have Zavi still chasing Dio down. So we'll just jump on board with the legendary Lucas Zavicic as he continues to chase down just Dio in the Peugeot. But yes, we'll be racing for the EDTM organised by the Acco Pub. Big shout out to the DTR boys as well, but we'll be racing on the 2nd of April. For that, I'll be racing in that one.
Jack LaMotta has appeared in my chat. Hello, Jack.
Jack LaMotta. What a legend.
Your countryman in 3rd position, just set 2 seconds faster. I reckon he's turned his engine up for the last few laps. He's gone from a 1:29.6 to a 1:27.7. He's pretty much secure on the podium there.
Indeed, racing softs. Zavicic, Dio running a little bit wide there into turn 1 here at Deep Forest as a lap 62 out of 63 is on the way. We're closing in into that final lap now. Can Zavicic make it happen? Can he get just Dio on the final lap here at Deep Forest for the Race for Ukraine? Thank you to everyone that's been in it. Thank you for everyone that's been involved in chat. I do appreciate it. And thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everyone that's donated. Again, if you ever do decide to donate after, you can right now, which is the case for many. Of course, you don't have to, but the link will still be here. It will still be here on UNICEF, helping those in need in Ukraine. But it does look as though Zavicic in the Subaru is catching up. Just Dio in the Peugeot. Dio trying to get out of slipstream rage. Zavicic, he's got a good run. Brake markers are going to be important here. He's going to have a little bit of extra speed. Softs are beginning to wear. And he's on the tail end of Dio. Final lap. Can Dio hold him off? That is the question.
I've just realised Jack LaMotta was actually Burkhardt from Deutschland. I don't know why I thought Jack LaMotta was from Italy.
Side by side.
Sorry. I'm good at getting people's countries completely.
Hard on the brakes, and he's got that position on Dio, but Dio looks like he's got a better angle. Zavicic got a very good run there.
They're 2 seconds a lap difference in lap times. So.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Peugeot. Not that it's a bad choice, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just not specifically a fan. I do like the rear-wheel drive cars. I think the Supra is an amazing car as well. But Zabasic making his way through the final sectors here at Deep Forest on Gran Turismo 7. So this is the time.
On the back end for me, at least on Gran Turismo Sport.
Toyota.
The Peugeot. I find the Peugeot quite twitchy. I got hold of one in the last month and spent a bit of time driving it around, and because other people seem to like it, and I just found I like a car that's quite stable on the back end, a neutral car. I like good turning, but I like neutral on the back. I mean, that's, if you're rubbish, then everyone's different in what they like, the good feel of. So Schumacher and Lewis, they like the back end to be a bit loose.
I'm going to have to cut you off through because Zabasic is on his final left-hand corner and is going to cross that start-finish line. 63 laps in, a 90-minute endurance race there. You get a flash from Dio, the absolute legend. Zabasic showing that he is the GOAT of GT Sport with P1. Lee crossing that start-finish line here at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine, taking P2-1. Incredible race from that dude. Well done in the Subaru. Golden Crash coming up towards that final chicane here. He's going to be taking a podium P3-ish here today at Deep Forest for the race for Ukraine. Round he goes. Dutchie in P4, Christian P5, Dio P6, Shane P7, Dirk P8. Just wait for Mauro to cross that start-finish line here at Deep Forest.
Mauro. I grew up with two Italians, Mauro and Franco, brothers.
Mad Matthew P9, just behind Christian as they both make their way up towards the final chicane here. And Jacob up P10, Maxi P11, Juby P12.
Two-tone Lexus.
Today was most certainly not a bad position. It's about the race for Ukraine. So big thank you to absolutely everyone that's been here. Thank you to everyone that's joined in on the races. Thank you to Rue. Thank you to Diaco. Thank you to Luca. Thank you to Bujalina, Dio. Absolutely everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. It has indeed.
Thank you for joining us, Jack LaMotta. Thank you, Juha from Finland, funny as cowboy. The Porsche lover, that's his possu. Good job by everybody. What a superb race that was. And you can hear how hard that was because there's a German making weird noises in my ear. We can all hear him.
Oh, I have eye cancer now.
That's the international language for thank God that's over.
Yes, thank God that's over. You see, that was a really lonely race for me.
I saw you getting out of the way a lot of people.
Oh, nasty Andrew. I'm going to pay for that.
He still did a lot better than I would have.
I guess.
No, I don't guess. I think I know. There's not many things I know for sure, but one of them is things like that. You know, I've watched you race a lot now.
And now we are driving for almost 2 hours, and I get 32,000 credits. Wow!
Yeah.
This must be the future. This must be the future. Incredible. Oh, and a two-star roller ticket. Oh man, this game's
the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Who am I on board with? I'm with a giant tonic. And there's a Peugeot almost trying to reverse into him. It's really weird. Oh no, they're all the same car. I think that's a glitch. Thank you everybody for doing such a fantastic job, for joining us for racing, for making it a good, clean and exciting race. See, it is possible to have clean racing, competitive racing and exciting racing all in the same race with the same people. Just saying. Just saying, Gran Turismo Sport mode.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like, subscribe to me if you want. And
everyone
that way inclined. Matt and Diaco especially, they deserve it. But also, if you can, I'm going to put the links in afterwards, obviously, when I edit it. donate to the charities. If you can't do that, write a letter to your MP. Write a letter to, I don't know, does writing a letter to Putin work? No idea. There must be something people can do just by trying. I don't know. I don't know, but something needs to be done.
Is Dio mad about something? Thank you, backmarker. That cost me 10 seconds.
Oh, what? Sorry?
Dio has written, thank you, backmarker. That cost me 10 seconds.
Well, we can't change the past. We can only be in the present. And like I say, it is all about Ukraine today. Of course, we don't want any forms of bad driving, but again, we are here for Ukraine. Again, link is in the description for those who do want to donate. But that has been incredible. That has been absolutely awesome. I'm really, really happy for those that have stuck with it and gone through a very intense race. It's been an interesting one, especially with the tyre and fuel. It was an interesting tactics. We've had some amazing fights. We've had some amazing action. We've got some amazing camera angles. Gran Turismo 7, yes, has a few more things. I'd like to be able to use a keyboard. I'd like to be able to put up some of the driver names, like in Gran Turismo Sport and all that kind of thing. But as it is, beautiful to be able to experience what is Gran Turismo 7 at one of my favourite tracks as a child, Deep Forest Raceway. And we'll be racing on the 2nd of April on 3DTM.
Yes, EDTM.
Yes.
Indeed. And
Will be great.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
Hope to see you all there. Also you, Matt.
I'll be there, my friend. I'll be there.
Don't forget to reinstall the GT Sport.
No. No. I will get that done. No problem. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope to see everyone that's watching here today join us for the EDTM, organised by Diaco Bub. And yeah, I think that probably brings us to a close.
Dirk, hast du danach nochmal kurz Zeit? So
Yep.
Für uns beide?
Yep.
Oh, you has joined our little party. That's amazing.
Hi, Juha.
It's always good to have a crazy Finn on your
Cowboy.
side. Always. No, I think so. I like crazy Finns. They're good. So, okay, at that point, I'm going to end my stream.
Me too.
You
Bye
guys
bye.
can carry on. Then. So, I'll say ta-da to the stream. Bye-bye. Done.
Yep, thank you to everyone on my stream. I do appreciate it. You've all been absolute legends. Appreciate the help in chat as well. It really does help. And again, thank you to all the drivers that have been here to race for those in need at Ukraine. That's going to be it from me, guys. We'll see you very soon on the next live stream. Until then,